The story opens with a chilling scene. A man with his face wrapped in bandages. Acid is poured into his nose while he screams in agony, and then, bam, he's smashed to death with a sledgehammer. Then we meet Jennifer, a dazzling supermodel known across America for her beauty and fame. Her flawless face dominates magazines, billboards, and every corner of social media. She lives alone in her high-end apartment, with only her beloved dog for company. One evening, she gets glammed up and heads out for a party. As she slips into her car, we see someone lurking in the shadows, watching her every move. But Jennifer has no idea she's being followed. At the party, she casually sips on her drink, completely unaware that someone has slipped a sedative into it. Her head starts spinning and she stumbles outside for air. That's when a mysterious figure grabs her from behind and kidnaps her. She wakes up in a cold, confined cell, alone and terrified. The door is locked. Escape seems impossible. She notices 4 strange lockers and cameras everywhere, tracking her every move. Jennifer notices something horrifying. Her own clothes, makeup, and shoes are neatly arranged in the room. It hits her like a punch. The kidnapper has been inside her apartment and brought her personal belongings here. Suddenly, a drawer slides open from the wall, and inside is the exact same healthy juice she drinks every day. She hurls it across the room in fury, realizing this psychopath knows everything about her. She screams, demanding to be freed. But, instead of answers, a cloud of sleeping gas floods the room. She collapses instantly. She wakes up strapped tightly to a torture chair. Standing before her is the masked kidnapper, calm and menacing. Without saying a word, he plays horrifying footage. Videos of other victims being tortured to death. One woman is drenched in acid, screaming in agony. Jennifer is frozen in terror. She begs him to stop, to let her go. But he shows no mercy. He sprays her with acid, too. She screams and blacks out. Later, she regains consciousness in her cell, her face wrapped in thick bandages. In a panic, she rushes to the mirror and sees wounds across her face, only to realize they're fake. Another sick mind game. Suddenly, the shower switches on by itself, making her jump. Then a hidden drawer opens, revealing some magazines and a key marked Locker 1. Inside is a black dress. The message is clear. He wants her to wear it, but Jennifer refuses. In retaliation, the killer floods the room with blinding lights and deafening noise. It's overwhelming. Jennifer panics, drops to the floor and crawls under the bed, clutching her ears in agony. While hiding, her fingers brush against something, a nail sharpener. She quickly hides it in her clothes. That night, fueled by desperation, she uses the sharpener to unscrew a vent cover. She crawls inside, hoping for freedom. But then, she spots something chilling. A broken nail from another girl. Someone had tried escaping before and didn't make it. As she inches forward through the narrow tunnel, the killer suddenly discovers her escape attempt. He tears the vent open, grabs her violently and knocks her out cold. She wakes up, strapped back into the torture chair. Tears streaming, she pleads, "I'll give you money, anything, just let me go." But the killer doesn't care about money. He opens a fridge. It's packed with severed body parts. He tosses them into a blender and forces Jennifer to drink the gruesome mixture. She passes out from the horror. When she comes to, the torture continues. Blazing lights scorch her eyes. Bone-rattling noise drowns out her screams. The killer is enjoying every second. It's all just a twisted game to him. From his hidden control room, the killer watches Jennifer's every move. Back in her cold, dim cell, she notices a strange light coming from the wall. She peers through a small opening and discovers another prisoner. A boy named Gary is locked up nearby. Both of them are confused and terrified. Why were they kidnapped? What does this monster want? But for the first time, Jennifer feels a glimmer of hope. She's not alone anymore. Maybe, just maybe, they can escape together. Meanwhile, the killer watches one of Jennifer's interviews and makes a sick discovery. She's terrified of the dark. With a twisted grin, he shuts off every light in her room. Total darkness. Jennifer starts trembling with fear, but then a soft glow appears. Gary lights a match to calm her down. Furious, the killer storms into Gary's cell and jabs him with a sedative. Gary collapses. Then the nightmare escalates. A drawer opens, revealing a glass filled with sand. Before Jennifer can react, she's shoved into a glass box that begins to fill rapidly with sand. If she doesn't escape fast, she'll suffocate. But just in time, Gary breaks the glass with a metal rod and pulls her out. They dash into another room, only to stumble upon a lifeless body. As they frantically search for a way out, the killer appears, gun in hand. Gary and Jennifer run to the garage, spot a car and jump in, but it's a trap. The car releases sleeping gas. They pass out instantly. Jennifer wakes up again, strapped to the torture chair. Her hand is on a gun aimed directly at her dog. Across from her, the killer points a gun at her. She has just 30 seconds to decide. Kill her dog or die herself. With tears flooding her eyes, Jennifer does the unthinkable. She pulls the trigger. Her heart shatters. Jennifer is thrown back into her cell. She sees her dog trapped inside a glass box, but when she gets closer, it vanishes. It was never real. The killer is toying with her mind, twisting her reality. As she talks to Gary through the walls, something strange happens. Their cell doors suddenly unlock. Hope floods in. They run toward each other, desperate to reconnect. But just as they reach out, slam! The doors lock again behind them. A drawer slides open, revealing the key to locker number 4. Jennifer opens it and finds another dress. This time, out of sheer terror, she puts it on. Moments later, the door opens again. She runs into Gary's arms, and they hold each other tightly. But the moment is shattered when a video begins to play on the wall of Gary's cell. It shows a girl being tortured, her mouth sewn shut in horrifying detail. Enraged, Gary smashes the camera. That's when the killer storms in, grabs Gary and drags him away. Jennifer watches helplessly on a live feed. The killer's about to murder Gary, she screams and begs. Please, I'll do anything. The killer ties both of them to torture chairs. Then he plays a gut-wrenching video. A boy stabbing his abusive mother and snapping a photo of her lifeless body while smiling at his older brother. The killer reaches for Jennifer's tooth, but Gary interrupts and says, "Take mine instead." Without hesitation, the killer yanks out Gary's tooth and leaves them alone. Jennifer is deeply affected by Gary's sacrifice. The two begin to grow closer. The killer watches silently from his control room, waiting for his next move. The next morning, Gary discovers Jennifer lying unconscious. She had drunk the water left by the killer. Calmly, he scans a keycard, opens the door, and heads upstairs, straight to the killer. But here's the shocking truth. Gary isn't a victim at all. He's the killer's younger brother. He's also the same boy who once stabbed his own abusive mother to death. Their mother had tormented them for years, scarring them both mentally. That pain twisted them into monsters. Ever since, they've been kidnapping women as a twisted form of revenge, and when they want to punish a man, like we saw in the beginning, they don't hesitate to kill. Gary had only pretended to be a victim. He gained Jennifer's trust, only to slowly break her from the inside. But something unexpected happened. Gary actually started to care for her. He confessed his feelings to his older brother, hoping for approval. Instead, his brother exploded in anger, shouting that Jennifer had to die. Gary snapped. In a blinding rage, he stabbed his own brother and hid the body in the bathtub. As Gary browses through disturbing files of their past victims, the doorbell suddenly rings. 2 detectives are at the door looking for his brother. Gary calmly lies. He's not home. They also ask about Jennifer's disappearance. Gary offers tea and turns on the TV, but right then, Jennifer's live video appears on screen. The detectives freeze, horrified. Gary doesn't hesitate. He pulls out a gun and shoots them both dead. He then walks back to Jennifer and says, "We can leave now. I've killed both killers." Jennifer, completely unaware of the truth, feels a wave of relief. They head upstairs. Jennifer spots the detectives' lifeless bodies sprawled on the floor and instantly assumes they were the real killers. She grabs a phone, desperate to call the police, but Gary stops her. He warns, "We have to delete the private footage first. If the cops find it, we're in serious trouble." He hurries off to destroy the evidence. Just then, one of the detectives, barely alive, suddenly lunges at Jennifer. Panicked and thinking he's one of the killers, she grabs a baseball bat and beats him to death without hesitation. Breathing heavily, Jennifer stumbles across a hidden stash of files. As she flips through them, her world shatters. Gary and his brother were the masterminds behind it all. They had kidnapped, tortured, and emotionally destroyed countless girls. Gary's tactic? Pretend to be a victim, earn their trust, and watch them fall apart. Jennifer is crushed. The man she believed in, the one she thought had saved her, was a monster all along. Suddenly, Gary's brother, still alive, bursts in and attacks her, wrapping his hands around her throat. Struggling to breathe, Jennifer grabs a knife and plunges it into him, ending his life once and for all. As Jennifer tries to make her escape, Gary shows up and casually tells her to help clean up the house. Like nothing ever happened, acting calm, she steps closer, then suddenly sprays his eyes with pepper spray and bolts. She races down to the basement, shuts off the lights, and fumbles until she finds a gun. But before she can react, Gary is already there. She pulls the trigger. Click. It's not loaded. Gary grabs the gun, but Jennifer kicks him hard in the leg, snatches it back, cocks it, and fires again and again until he drops lifeless to the floor. With shaking hands and burning rage, Jennifer finally steps out of that nightmare house. And just like that, the story ends.